pace, please, sorry. Okay? That we need to keep pace is my point. If we don't, we will be left out. Sarada Kindergarten has continuously changed to keep pace with what society needs so that our children become relevant and what they learn is useful to them. Now, I want to take the next slide, please. Our children are here today in 2023, building 5-year-olds. I'm taking you on a time travel. 20 years from now, in 2043, the little darlings will be adults. Correct? So my question is, at that time, they're no longer children, they are adults. The challenges that they will face in 2043 at the age of 24 is not the same challenges as our 24-year-olds face today. Not the same challenges as we, when we were 24, we faced. It'll be very different. Correct? So, what's next? What will be the demands and expectation of that adult at the age of 24 in 2043? We ask that question. Is it going to be the same? Do you think it's going to be the same? No. So are we on the right track the way we are going now to prepare them for their age? Linked to this, we ask you another question. If there are demands and expectations, what are the skills and competencies our children need to have to meet these demands? So we see we have two. Here on the one hand, you have the demands and expectations. On the other hand, you need to have the right skills and knowledge and disposition to meet those. If there is a mismatch, our children will fall through the crack. So we go on and we say, what are the skills and competency would an adult need? It's not the same as what the skills we have today. We don't know what it's going to be, so we move on to say that whether we like it or not, artificial intelligence has invaded our lives. Right? The AI has brought a lot of solutions, a lot of answers, a lot of easy work. You know, universities have a hard time trying to look at plagiarism because everything is coming out of AI. But with AI comes the other problem. What's the dilemma? Are we now able to think? Are we now able to feel as humans? Or we all depend on this gadget with a press of a finger or voice command to give us the answers we need? So what's that human element that we need to preserve? So we go on to say, in 2043 we went on a time travel to 2043. Now I bring you back from 2043 to 2023. The time to act is now. If we delay, it will be too late to turn the clock backwards. It's a one-way journey. If you miss the boat now, you miss the boat. So, we say, what must we do today? We want to introduce you to this book, this concept, which is very, very important for us. It's by this lady called Ellen Gilinski. She introduced this idea of mind in the making. How do you make the mind? How do you mold it? How do you nurture it? And she came to 7 essential life skills every child needs. It's not what you and I need, it's not that we don't, we do. But what does every single child needs? So it's focused on the child. And it's not a nice to have skill, it's not a good to have skill, it's an essential skill. So I want to talk a bit about the essential skills. Now Gilinski says that mind in the making has 7 skills. I'll touch very briefly, and later if we need to, we can talk about it a bit more. The first one she's talking about is focus and control. Our children, like us, are bombarded with multiple sensorial stimulation. You know, when you sit in the train, the people are on their phones, but they're not steady on one unless they're watching a movie. If not, they're skipping, scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Our children find it very difficult to take a book and pay attention. They want multiple stimulation. So this concept of focus and self-control is the ability to look and stop thinking of other things and think about what I'm presently doing. Sarada Kindergarten has this program called self-regulation. When you go to the class, if you see how the children must perform, behave, comply, and they're rewarded by stickers, that's managing self-control. Another skill that she's talking about is the skill of perspective taking. Ego is high for preschoolers, we know, but the I, and me and I alone cannot go on forever. By the time they hit K1 and K2, they must know, if I do this, what will happen? They must know what does the other person say, what does the other person think. They must be able to take the perspective of another person if they can. And if they're nurtured to do so, then what will happen is conflict will be minimized. The person as a team player will be higher. Because I know my actions will cause repercussions, and I know cause and effect. Another one she's talking about communicating. Communicating goes beyond literacy skills. It goes beyond talking, it goes beyond reading and writing. I have a message to give you. My brains are thinking of something. As long as I'm unable to represent what's in my mind in words, I cannot bring that message to you. So, communicating is an expression where someone is able to receive what is it that we're saying. Okay? Communicating to another person through the expression of ideas, through the expression of correct use of words, vocabulary. We do all of this also in our project and inquiry base. Another one she's talking about is critical thinking. Most of us pride ourselves in that we can think jolly well. How many of us actually do critical thinking? Do we analyze what we think? Do we ask questions? Are we able to think out of the box? Are we able to say, hey, is this true news or fake news? Whose perspective is being represented here? These are skills we need to teach our children today, so later when they grow up, they are able to differentiate. You suddenly don't grow up at the age of 20 to say, yeah, I know this is false, this is fake, this is true. The ability to go through that thinking process comes from early childhood. She talks also about making connections. Information and knowledge is only half its worth. Google is better than you, correct? Information you have is no big deal. What is a big deal? Is if you are able to connect all the information, make links, or by using the information you have, you create something new, or you solve the problem. That's making connections. It is no longer memorizing and regurgitating and passing exams. It will only bring you this far. The other one she talks about is taking on challenges. How many of our children say, I cannot do it, cannot learn? No learn. Why? Too hard. I do not have the disposition to persevere. For me, it's easy to say, I cannot do. And it's worse to say, I won't even try. So how do we build this disposition in the child, for the child to say, I shall try. Even if I fail, I shall try. That is important. Because in the future, we have to have our children taking on challenges. Okay? The last one she talks about is self-directed, engaged learning. Today you can say, sit, do your homework. Sit, do your work. By the time they hit P3, P4, they have their own minds. Okay? And if the child is not self-directed, if I don't know what I don't know, how am I going to learn what I want to know? So how do we get our children to be self-directed? I must learn. I want to learn for learning's sake. I don't want to learn because Amma says I have to do this. If every time I have to learn because Amma says I have to do this, the day Amma is not in the picture, what's going to happen? That will happen in the teenage years. But Amma doesn't matter. My friends matter, right? So we look at how you create in children self-directed, engaged learning. So all of these are the 7 dispositions, skills and competencies our children need to have. We move on. We're now going to talk to you about the 2024 curriculum. Mrs. Uma will go into that. Right now, all of your children are going for the 3-hour curriculum. That's our core curriculum. Our core curriculum is very solid because over the years, we've fine-tuned it, we've made it better and better and better. And many parents here come to us because they know we deliver. We have a track record. So what we're saying is our curriculum is very solid. No two minds about it. Now we say, on top of this core curriculum, we are going to add on a premium curriculum. And because the premium curriculum is added on, the effect is going to be geometrical. It's not just this, you add up with something else, this is what you will get. It's not 1 plus 1 equals 2. By this, we say 1 plus 1 may even equal 5. Because on a strong foundation of the core, whatever else you top up that's correctly facilitated, that correctly experienced by the child, the learning and the effect on the child is extremely high. So what we're going to say is this. The premium curriculum rides on the solid core curriculum. So keep in mind this. The core curriculum is a 3-hour curriculum your children are currently enjoying, experiencing. We are talking of that core curriculum coupled with a premium curriculum that will give your children the skills and competencies that's required for the 21st century, that will allow your child to have the right disposition in the year 2043. We're not planning for primary school yet. We're planning for life beyond primary school. So these dispositions are critical. So that's how we're going to anchor. The premium and the core curriculum leads to a dramatic progression in your child's mind. We come back again to the mind in the making. We are not just pouring knowledge, pouring information. We want our children to use their minds. And for children to use, even us adults, there are 3 key things. You need time. We cannot pressure cook our children. We cannot pressure cook them. So we can't bring down the premium curriculum into the core curriculum and pressure our children. It doesn't work. They need time. Number 2, they need experiences. They need experiences to try, to converse, to share their opinions. They need experiences. They cannot get experiences if we don't have the time to work with them. The 3rd, they need the facilitation of a good educator. And Sarada Kindergarten has lots and lots of solid educators. The educator who will be able to take the best out of the child. The very best, by creating this environment where holistically where the child is happy, peaceful, ready to learn, and then I give you experiences, opportunities, and the educator facilitates the learning. So this is our program we wish to share with you. This is our vision for 2024 and beyond. So I hand you now over to Ms. Suma. Kala.
Thank you, Pushpa. So Pushpa has given us an understanding of why we must get our children future ready. So now I'd like to invite Mrs. Uma, our principal, to give us an overview of the premium curriculum. Mrs. Uma, please.
Thank you. What we can, within the 3 hours, the core curriculum is solid. Until it cannot be topped up anymore. It's not how many things you can do. It's how well you do it that depends. So the core curriculum, you have your the curriculum memo that come to you. So you have your language, your numeracy, your math, and your social, emotional. All the 6 domains will be there: art, motor skills. So we are doing all these components in the curriculum, and these are where there are skills or concepts for them to learn. So the teacher will have lesson plans and she will teach. Okay, that's the curriculum. But Is that strong enough? Not strong enough. So then we brought in this part called project work. Project work, the next one is inquiry-based learning, and the next one is knowledge building. So we brought this into the curriculum as well. That means it's no longer just teacher-directed lessons. What we call is teacher-facilitated lessons came in. That means you are going to be engaged in your learning, and the teacher is there to facilitate your learning. So in nursery, we started with project work, simple project work. How to grow a plant, and the child they will learn as a class, how to make pancakes, a cooking lesson. So we'll learn as a group. And they will start, when teacher asks questions, they'll start answering to the question first. And then they'll say, oh, I can make something. So the self-efficacy from young is like, oh, I can bake, today I baked something in school. So from that stage, we go on to K1, they'll be doing inquiry-based learning. A little more on project work. We use a method called, okay, I won't bombard you with this KWL and all that. Simply, it's project work, but there's now a question or an area of focus where we say, okay, we're going to talk not just about books, but we're going to find out something about books that we can go into deeper learning. So that comes in K1, with the teacher facilitating, and the children, by K1, they should be now asking the questions to the teacher. So from nursery, where they just answer the question, in K1, they'll ask teacher some question. Teacher, why are we doing this? Why not that? How is this like that? They'll ask the kind of questions. We move to K2, it will be knowledge building. We have been doing knowledge building for about 5 years with our K2 children. The difference between before and now is that in knowledge building, like it says, we value the process, not the product. We do project work for about 6 weeks. So in the 6 weeks, the children will have a lot of interactions in the classroom. A lot of questioning, a lot of wonderings happen. And after that, everybody got their own interests. The teacher is there to facilitate them to come to one big idea. So at a very young age, from K2, we teach them, you can have many interests, but for the benefit of this class moving forward, we need to anchor on one main question. So we teach children how to anchor on one main question. And from the one main question, we say, what do you want to learn more about this question? And we facilitate further. The children give ideas. The teacher will not say it's right or wrong. She will say, let's test it out. So they will do experiments and investigations together to come to a conclusion later on. That is knowledge building in K2, and it's in the core program. So like you say, a core program is not good, so we went to premium curriculum. The core curriculum is good. So the teacher directed and the teacher facilitated curriculum is good. Just on. And the next one. But we think, is that enough? Is that enough for 21st century? Our children need more help. What can we do now? Because we don't have primary school. This morning we conducted a K2 workshop, and the parents asked them for feedback. When will you be starting primary school P1 for our child? I said, cannot. We are good in our early years. We have no intention of primary school. That's due to the experts who are trained in formal education. But we believe in critical years, which is the 0 to 6. If we get our 0 to 6 years right, you don't have to worry about the other years. So in the premium curriculum, what will the children do? It's just not about occupying time. That is not our intention. We want the children to learn and make most of the time. But we also be very careful what we are teaching the children. So we are focusing on in-depth experiences. We want children to think. It is very important to think now. It's very easy for teachers to teach you all the concepts. Whether you understand or not, I teach you all about sink and float. And the reasoning behind sink and float. But if you don't understand, you will just shake your head, yeah, understand. Write very nice report, and then give to mommy and daddy, say, yeah, I learned this in kindergarten. That's not what we want. We want the children to think critically and reflectively and understand, oh, well, this is why some things sink, and what is this why some things float. They need to make the connection for themselves. So after thinking about this, we say, then what should we do for the extra 3 hours that we're going to have? So we looked at these 3 components. STEAM. Have you heard of STEAM? STEAM curriculum. Okay, we're going to do STEAM and we're going to do KTL, means Key to Logic program. And the next one is Brain Gym. Everything's new to you? Okay. That means what? Really good thing. No other principal is giving this. No, you have not heard about this at all? No? So no other principals are giving this curriculum. So we are very special breed. Because we think, what else? What can we do for our children? STEAM. Let's go to the next one. So maybe I break it down. STEAM is science, technology, engineering, art, and math. On its own, they are just subjects. But STEAM brings everything together. So, what does STEAM look like? In a class, there will be, we will say there's a STEAM session going on. So, what is going to happen? It's project work. You're going to embark on an investigation. But you are going to have more time now to investigate. Compared to the 3 hours, how much can we do the 3 hours? I still have to deliver the language, numeracy, art, music, everything at 3 hours. But something you feel, no, the teachers will come to me and say, there's more we can do for project work with Zuma, but there's no time. I still agree, there's no time. So for investigations to be initiated and to be run, you need time for children to think. You can't say, quick, what's the answer? Come on. Can't get the answer? I'll tell you the answer. No, it doesn't look at me. So we have to think and say, why not we go back home, we ask our mommy and daddy, that's when we will pull you into the sessions. We need your help. Please go to the library, borrow books on this topic. It's okay if children cannot read the books on their own. You give them some information. They come back so excited because mommy, daddy, everybody's involved in the learning right now. I bring back this book to the school. I say, teacher, I know now about this topic. That's good. So STEAM will talk about collaborative learning. Let's put all your ideas together, children. Let's see what you all brought back from home. Put together, they have a lot of discussion, and they'll come to one idea again. So we'll integrate now. We'll come back to knowledge building. We'll now come back to one big idea. Let's do project work in school. The children will be excited. I'm in preschool and I'm doing investigations and experiments. In primary school, they will do experiments as well. Do you have kids in primary school? Yes? Okay. Are they talking about experiments? Do they understand what's going on in the class? Or are they learning so that they can pass in that science subject? Especially the last week question of the science book, the science paper, I myself cannot answer. And they want the right kind of answer, the right kind of keywords. Your children's understanding is not important. Where is the keyword? The rubric says you must have this keyword. Very torturous. But come back to early childhood. In order to have the keywords, you must encourage a child to think. Where was the time given to him to think? So STEAM focuses a lot on that. Next one. These are the 21st century skills that will appear in STEAM sessions. Critical thinking is there. Any investigations, you need to ask the why and the how questions. You need to respond to the questions. Perspective taking. If my friend says all metal sink, and then as a child I'm hearing that and you're thinking, not all metal. The ship in the ocean doesn't sink. You're asking this question, you're making connections. So making connection comes there. But I'm listening to my friend's idea, or some friends will have better ideas. They'll say, I'm talking sing and flow because that's the topic that the current K2 did. Okay, this term, term 1, the K2s did sing and flow. So I'm trying to get some examples from the current teaching. Okay. So another child said, oh teacher, is the shape of the material. What is material then? Some children ask, what is material? So one child has given the new vocab material, and other children not so sure about it. The teacher won't say, oh, materials are fabric, metal, plastics. No need to answer. You say, I also wonder what is material. So let's find out. So you need more time to find out about that as well. So that's why the 6 hours is very important. The extra 3 hours is important. Making connections. Now you've got all this information. Now we have to link, and we need to find out what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Right? And by doing all these things, you are actually engaging them in active learning. You are teaching them to do experiments on their own. It's okay if you fail. We can always do the experiment again. Failures are not failures, but they are things that will make the children learn. Right? So STEAM takes care of these skills. What about the next one? Key to learning. Actually, in the 3-hour core program, you do have key to learning. I'm not sure if you have seen before in the portfolios or in the curriculum memo. Nursery children would have done orthographics. Key to learning has got many modules. So orthographics is meant for nursery children. It is actually a series of activities that teaches children to have better motor skills, especially the fine motor skills. A bit of creative thinking comes in there, but it's basically for children to move their arms and to draw and to make connections. So we do that in the 3-hour program for nursery. In K1, there's key to learning as well. It's the next module they will do. It's called construction. You would have seen your children playing with blocks. Okay, these are blocks. And it's just not playing on the own. It's teacher facilitated. Teacher will say, okay, like for example, let's build a bridge. So how are we going to build this bridge? What must we consider? So the children will experiment. Then they will build the blocks, and the teacher will say, so is your bridge big enough? Narrow, wide, taller maybe? So vocabulary comes in as well. So we do that in K1. Now in K2, we want to do logic. Logic is where your children get to think and give a reason for their thinking, which is a bit high order. Don't you think so for a 6-year-old? I can tell you how I did it, but when you tell me how you did it, and tell me why you did it that way, it's a bit difficult to answer. So logic helps the children to make the connections. The next one. Making the connections, which is like, for example, one logic lesson is to sort things according to their attributes. With invisible attributes, not the physical attributes, no. That's too easy for K2. And categorize them in groups. These groups are something that is not very visible. They need to think of the hidden attributes in it and figure out why I put these two pictures together. There's a reason behind this, and this is my reason. I verbalize my reason. So we do logic in half an hour. It's very tight. It needs at least 1 hour because we are learning 10 children at one go. So, and we need to hear every child's perspective, because this child might have one way to do it. The next child has another way to do it, another way to think about it. And you can't always be the one teaching your child. Peer learning must take place. Very young in the child's education, peer learning must come in. Then only the child will become a good team player later on. So it's all about making connection. The focus and self-control. Because for logic, we have a series of questions to ask the children, and or a series of instructions to give the children. And we'll say, we start off with like one day, mom, it's Mother's Day, and mother wants to buy, you want to give mother the flowers. I remember this flower thing. Oh my God, by the time you come to third level, I myself get confused. But it's how we facilitate the children. We pause and let them think. We'll say something like, no, mother likes tulips more than daisies, but less than carnations. For a 6-year-old, it's like, what are you talking about? So we do a lot of visual representations for the children to make the learning visible. We show them with our cue cards and our visual pictures, and then they see, oh, now I understand. They will do it for themselves. So mother likes tulip more, so tulip comes here, and less than daisy, so daisy moves further, then carnation must come here. So this is using groups. Something is very high order. Not in primary school they use this. You'll have Venn diagrams. I don't think any other preschools are doing Venn diagrams. We are doing Venn diagrams. These are higher order thinking. And this happens in logic programming. Moving on, the third one. Brain gym. Of course, 6 hours in the school. As a parent, I used to be worried, what? After that, what's learning, topping up information, would it be too much for my child? Can she cope? That's the first thing. I don't want to make a wrong decision. Can she cope? Can she survive? But yes, we have thought of that as well, because they are our children as well. We don't want to, like you say, pressure cook them and keep them in the classrooms. What is another very important area can be solved is through brain gym. The brain training and body movement program that enhances the whole brain. Little bit like yoga, but it's not yoga. What happens in brain gym is that they will do a series of body movements, or what we call some motor skills, to get the left brain and the right brain to work together. Right? It's a lot of physical coordination first, but it eventually will lead to their cognitive abilities as well. So an example would be the crossing of the midline. It's very easy to, it's very easy for a child to do this way, right? It's easy. You don't even have to think about it. You swing your arms also, you can do this way. But get your child to cross. When do, it's a little difficult. Let's say you start as early as 4 years old. Do this. A little difficult. Okay, you're crossing the body. It gets more difficult when you do the legs. This way, you cross. The crossing is very important for the right and the left brain to do. Now I'm standing. So it comes from simple to complex exercises. Now I'm stationary and doing this. And then we do this as well. Last time we think it's punishment. Our teachers are punishing us. Actually it's a stimulation. There's a scientific reason behind it. So, and doing it stationary is one level. Doing it while moving is another whole new level. You can try. Ask your child to go like this. Can I get the coordination right? Try doing backwards. Try walking backwards. I can't do something, but it's very good exercise for us as well because we need a connection. It's actually proven. Brain gym is actually proven to reset your immune system. It de-stresses you, gets you very much focused in whatever task you're doing. And once you calm down and you have to focus, you're ready for the next activity. So the 7 skills. The focus and self-control is that. Making connection means making mental connections in the head. Communicating. I learned how to communicate. Let's see, communicating is your brain communicating with your hands is also difficult for the children. We tend to do our hands first, think later, or talk later. So for children, it's like, I need to coordinate. Brain, follow my action, or we say body actions, please follow what the brain is thinking. So the child has to do that. The child also communicating means tell the teacher is very difficult, I cannot do. Able to express the need, I need help. I said, that's what we are here in Sarada, to help you, slowly. Let's start the simple one first, let's move back. So a lot of this individual one-to-one interaction happens in the premium curriculum. Taking on challenges means, yes, when we move to the simple to the complex, we always see that in our children as well. Teacher, see me, teacher, see, I can do this, teacher. See me, see. So they want to show what they can achieve. And they need an adult to be there to say, well done, fantastic, I know you can do it. Let's see what else you can do. You need a nurturing environment. And I think that's why some of you chose us, because we do that. And we have the heart for your children, our children. Right. So let's see, what's next? So the core plus the premium curriculum. Is there a picture here? Okay. You can open up everything. The core and the premium makes your child to be future ready. No need to worry about P1, P2. Let's move forward, future ready. And the work, like what because it starts now. Let's move on. So our goal, what is our goal? We have our plans, our 3-year plan, our 5-year plan. So after much discussion, we have said, by 2026, we want all children who come into Sarada to go through this core plus premium program, right? Curriculum. So let's work backwards then. 2025, most children will be in the core curriculum, the 3 hours. We want to do more of this premium and core children for some of the children. So our target is 2025 then. Okay, let's work backwards. 2024. It's too soon, I know, but the thing is, our nursery and K1 will go through the core curriculum, the 3 hours program, because we don't have that much of time now to get ready. The K2 children, most of the K2 children, your children will be going for the core curriculum as well, the 3-hour program. We can only, for now, probably we only can experiment with one pilot class to do the core and the premium curriculum. Why we don't say everybody jump in? Because it's something new. Pilot means we also will learn. But we are very sure about the components that we're teaching. We know we have the experts here to help us through. We know about the curriculum. But we want to see what is best. If you do for everybody, then you're saying if you're done, we're okay, fine, just send them, don't worry about it. But we're very selective in the sense that we want to focus on what else can we do that is better for our children. So for now, we only can do for one class. If there is, if more of you are interested, we will see how we can do the logistics part as well. Because we have already promised other parents who have come, right, the nursery in K1, to go through the 3-hour system, you see. So space is a problem. Classroom is a problem. When we provide something, we make sure we have the facilities, the teachers, the support teachers needs to be taken care of. So that's why we're taking one class. So 2024, your children are the privileged ones to be the first group to experience this special program. This morning I was talking to the K2 parents and they're very upset. They said, you don't like us, that's why you're doing with the next teacher. We have been here longer than them. You should have offered us first. I said, it doesn't work that way. It's nothing to do with whether we like you or don't like you, parents. We like all our parents. But it took a lot of studies and research and discussion with Swamiji, the board of people. It's not something that you make a decision overnight. This is our children's future. We need to make sure we make the right decision. So I told the parents, I cannot help it. We have to do it next year. But do you have younger children at home? That's the thing I asked. And some fathers, and parents say, this makes us, maybe we do some more planning in our side. I said, good, you do whatever planning you want at home. But they said, yes, my second one is coming in 2025 and 2026. Can I register now? I said, cannot. Wait. You have to wait. So we hope it benefits our children, our current children, but our target is to benefit the whole society. We know our children, with our good curriculum, our good teaching, with the role models out there for the other group of children. And I've been hearing these rumors that that our children who graduate from the 3-hour program, when they go to some international schools, they actually skip a grade. And that was a bit shocking to me. It's like, what do you mean they skip a grade? Oh, they go for some bridging program, and then they'll say for that bridging program, actually, your child knows more than what we're teaching in the first year program that they offer. They go for the second year program. I was like, oh, we never knew that. So, okay. But it's good to know that the child advances, but is the child ready for the advance is our question, right? So, how strong is their curriculum is also, we question. So it's not just about skipping grades. The same thing I've heard about our children going through our Tamil curriculum here, and then when they go to primary school, and they will just say, all the children from Sarada Kindergarten, please come decide. They will segregate. You know why? They say, Tamil will be very good ready, so we're going to put them in another class. something called independent. We can't do that now, but they do that because you have already learned what the primary school P1 curriculum is about. So we've been hearing things like that, and we understand that we have been doing good for the children, but what else? We are moving into the 21st century, doing things. We want to make sure they stay relevant or ahead of their time, and they are ready to take on challenges. That is our goal. Okay. So in a nutshell, the benefits for our children will be they get more time to explore and understand challenging concepts and skills. Things other people say not necessary in kindergarten, they will learn in primary school. We say no, it's the other way around. They need to learn now in kindergarten. Opportunities to experience 21st century skills. We are doing this in our core, but we can do better, much better to get them ready. Prepare them for longer hours in primary school. Yes, our children are very tired in primary school, 6 hours. And K2 is a very good time to get them ready. You know you're going to start homework, right? Then spelling will come. Homework and spelling. Though we try and simulate some of the experience that we're going to have in primary school, we can do more to get them emotionally ready for the changes in primary school. So moving on, so it's not about challenges. It's not about challenges. Our biggest problem, nightmare I have is school transport. Some parents know you have to shift house and then you go here from the office. Sorry, there's no bus going to that area. Number one. Or some drivers do not want to fetch children from certain location because they're out of the way. So transport is going to be a problem. For now, we are looking at for the 6-hour program. These challenges, it could be transport could be 2 ways. That's the best ideal solution. If we can arrange for a transport that is 2 ways, it will be good for you. That means come in about 8:30, the same timing, and go home about 2:30 or 3 o'clock. 6 hours. Meals will be provided as well. That would be good for 2-way transport. Or another option is to look at partial personal or partial one-way transport. Either parents drop, then we arrange for a bus to send your kids, or the other way around. School transport drops them, and parents can come and fetch the kids. That's another way. Or if you stay nearby, God bless you. If you can do personal transport, you drop and pick up the children, even better. Alright?
We are coming to the Q&A segment, so we invite parents to candidly ask questions to clarify any doubts that you have. There's a mic at the center of the hall. You can come to the mic and then introduce yourself, and you may ask your questions. We have the principals and Swamijis to answer your questions.
I'm Nikish's mommy from JCAM, and after listening to this, I just want to share that I was one of the students here, and my classroom was there, and Miss Pushpa was my teacher then. I've grown with Sarada, and I'm glad that my son is also part of Sarada. And for the K2 program, actually, I just want to ask a few questions on behalf of the parents. For the 6-hour program, now there are many classes, so Mrs. Uma mentioned that there will be only one class for the pilot program. So how would you select these students to be part of the 6-hour program?
Good question. And we also have been thinking, so what happens if we got many parents who want to join the program? And with what resources we have right now, how can we accommodate them? We are still. The biggest challenge is the fear.
Zoom in this side.
Transport.
Zoom out this side.
I don't have a driver's lesson for drive a bus. I myself am going to pick up the children. I tell you, the biggest problem is transport.
Focusing on the people.
That means
Not so close.
you have to make the decision, like I told you, right?
So,
If we have transport for that
zoom
area,
out.
and the buses go from morning, pick up 8:30, and the buses come available to drop the child off at 3, then you have transport. You can be in the program. Second option, we will let you know. We will say, look, we don't have the transport. We have partial transport. Either it's going to pick up or the drop off. You'll have the partial one. Are you still interested? So the second question will ask for that. It's all the transport questions. Or we'll say, I'm very sorry, we don't have any transport for particular location that you're coming from. Because, probably a child is in the morning, that means the child will only come 8:30 and drop off 11:30. He doesn't go for the afternoon trip. So then we'll say, would you like to do personal transport? That means you take care of the transport matters. So based on this, then we have to come up with the class. Other than that, we're not decided. Because anyway, when the kids, every year when they progress from one level to another level, they are all mixed again. You are aware, right? Okay. So when they are mixed again to another class, they will still come to a new class. So whether 3-hour or 6-hour program, we'll still mix the children up. But how we mix them now, it will be dependent on the transport. We can have up to a maximum of 24 children in one class. So right now we have 20 children in K1, right? And so in K2 we can go up to 24 with one teacher. We can't put more kids in that classroom because basically our classroom is a fixed space we are looking at. And if we put anything more than 24, we will need 2 teachers in that classroom. So right now it's 1 teacher, the maximum is 24. But of course if parents, we have more than that, we can start another class with a lesser number as well.
Depending on the number of people who are interested, Sarada Kindergarten will run the premium program. Even if it needs 11 children, we will run. Okay? But if there are more people that are interested, we will find the classrooms and the teaching facilities for them. The only issue is transport, because we will adjust our 2024 nursery intake. Because at the end of the entire program, by 2026, everybody is on the 6-hour program, which means our current count of 500 children or 480 will automatically drop to 240, 250. So the drop will start beginning in 2024. So if you are interested, don't worry that there will be no space for you. You worry about the transport. You with me? Yes, Sunji? Yes. Okay.
So the decision that you make will affect the 2024 cohort. As it is, there are so many courses. When are you opening up the registration? And it's because of this town hall, somebody has pulled back the registration because priority is given to the K1 parents now. So, because you are going to be here for the 2024, and that's the final year for your children. So we focus on our children first.
Hi, I'm Mahadev Swami from Daisy PM. Although I'm not a former student of Sarada, my family kids have been former students of Sarada, where teacher Kala was my niece's class teacher. Okay, so my family members have also been growing with Sarada, very happy to be growing along with Sarada. Okay, one question I need to ask is that about the curriculum that you are going to put for the premium class. When the kids learn the premium program, as parents, how do we know what they learn at school? Will they be given any materials, any homework, that kind? So how do we be part of the children's curriculum at school?
Homework is not the, thank you. Homework is not the solution. You see, for children to learn and for their minds to grow, they must have experiences and interactions. And that doesn't happen with homework. That's been Sarada Kindergarten's philosophy from many, many years ago. In fact, okay, what will happen is that we will design the whole program. Parents will be informed of their learning journey, what they're going on through, and how the learning is going on. You can complement the experiences at home, but that will not, as far as I'm aware, be a homework worksheet for them to do just because they're in the premium program. That's not how children learn.
Thank you. And I think maybe as parents, I understand, because when you go to school, you always ask children, what did you learn today? And I try to say anything. I only eat biscuits and came back home. I know. So, is there anything else apart from the biscuits that you need in school? No, 3-hour program playing. And then can say, I play. You play? Okay, so what did you learn? When you say learn, a child always says that, why you keep asking the same question? I already told you I eat biscuits and I play. Because just keep in mind, because these are the 4-year-olds, the 5-year-olds, the 6-year-olds. They don't understand your question. And this morning we conducted a workshop for the K2 parents. So this year I'm speaking for that K2 parents. So it's about nurturing thinking skills and communicative skills in our children through games. Why we say that is because that's how children learn. They learn how to learn through play. And that's preschool. I don't trust the preschool to give homework. You are not, what are you paying for? I can photocopy the homework from Popular Bookstore. I buy a few assessments, ask my teachers, hello, photocopy and give parents. Somebody is writing materials me. Let's give the parents. But you'll be doing the teaching at home. You'll be telling me, hey, did I ever teach you this? How come you don't know how to do the homework? Hey, put the A here, put the B next to it. No, you'll be teaching that. That's not how they learn in preschool. They learn through experiences. And the experiences must come with facilitation from the teachers. They can tell you some things that's happening in the school, but they can't tell you everything. And they will tell you what they want to tell you, not what you want to hear. So on the whole week, they probably only select one story to tell you. Maybe the bus beach me. That will be the biggest story for the whole week. Because they just want your attention. So they tell you, if the boy beach, my mother will get upset and she'll start talking to me more, show me more attention. So the children are quite smart. They choose what they want to tell you, and they don't understand that we as teachers have hidden agenda when we play games with the children. We don't tell them, you are now going to learn 2 more concepts. So for 2 more concepts, this is the first step. We don't tell them that, you see. We tell them, you're going to play a game, a math game, and this game is all about counting. So, shall we go out and play? And they're all very interested. So, when you ask the children what you learn, for them, I play, but I do not know how to tell you what I played and what was the learning. So that's why we started recently through Dojo. At least we highlight to you what's happening in 1 week, we select one. Because we have 40 children in the class, which means the teacher should be, our belief is that we engage with the children in the activity rather than taking photographs. And parents tell me the angle of the child not good. How to take photograph the angle for 40 children? Teachers, perspiring in the classroom to take photographs, but we must show the learning somehow to the parents. We agree. So that's why we select one activity once a week that highlights a certain domain or learning area, and very short words we give you. The child learned this is the activity, this is what they went through, and then we send to you. Then we do take-home kits. Take-home kits happen once a term, and we will prepare some materials, put it in the folder. I can still put the folder and send to you for the short holiday break, the 1 week break or the 1 month break. For some concepts that we think the children need more reinforcement, that's when we seek your help to teach the concepts. And we're also very careful what we send to the parents. It's but it's something that you are able to teach the way that we taught. You will go one way and we will teach another way, and the person's going to suffer is the children. They don't understand. Phonics, for example, they don't understand. So certain things we will keep for school teachers to deliver. Certain things that we think parents can engage. And usually see our take-home kids is all about games, where you need to be interactive with the parents. You need to be engaged with the children. We won't teach you things that you got to study first, lesson plan and deliver. We don't give you that. So we will give you the take-home kits. In K2, your wish will come true. We will have homework. And it starts in term 2, mid-term 2. About now. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to start for the current K2s. And that also is very minimal. We will start very simple. Your child can finish your homework in 5 minutes. Because why? The idea is not to finish and get everything correct, a star, and say well done. It's to make sure we do it in incremental changes. So even the child who doesn't like to sit down and do homework, will say, oh, at least I can do this now for 5 minutes, then I'm going to play. And slowly we will increase the level of difficulty in the homework, where sometimes the children might struggle and you may need to come in and help them with the comprehension of the instructions, how to do. So that will take place in K2.
Yes, you
First
are.
of all, thanks to Principal for a very elaborative answer to the previous question.
Okay.
I have three questions.
Three.
I have three questions, so short
Yes.
answers will do.
Yes.
One is about the language selection. So I want to build on your question itself. Currently, the kids are arranged, I think, in different classes based on the language they've chosen, right? So my daughter is in a Hindi class. If she opts for the extended program, for the premium program, how will the class work out with the Hindi classes?
The core program will still cover the mother tongue. So that's covered in the mother tongue, in the core program. Question number 2.
So in this case, when if I understand, for the first 3 hours, she will be in one class, and then for the premium
No.
part.
No. That's why we ask you to express your interest so that we are able to plan, collate, come up with. The classroom, God willing, will be the same throughout the 6 hours, but the mother tongue will be taken care of somewhere in that 6 hours. Okay,
Second
next.
one about the meal. What would be the meal schedule in the 6 hour program?
Okay, your children will be fed. Alright? I cannot give you now a menu. Okay, because the primary reason is that we need to find out what is the interest. All I can say is meals will be provided, it will be vegetarian.
Sorry, I want to understand the schedule. Will it be like 2 meals in the 6 hour?
Okay, there will be morning snack, there will be a lunch, and there will be a little bit of a,
I'll say practice when before they go back home,
They
the
eat
last thing they do in
biscuits.
the school is to eat the biscuits.
yeah.
That's why when you ask, they say eat biscuits. But we will show you, give you the menu, sir, once we are a bit more.
We need to be comfortable.
Breakfast, lunch, and
A snack, something, a light snack.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last one, right? So the new program will add a lot of new dimensions like the STEAM, the creativity.
Correct.
Right? Will the teachers be undertaking some additional trainings in this?
We are trained and we continue to be trained. We will be coaching the ones who are more trained. Many of our teachers are now masters holders. They are trained and they will coach the ones who are not. But we guarantee you, when we say we are going to deliver a program, we will deliver a program.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Adar's mom. My child is in Daisy PM class. So today I have two questions. One on the program, extended program that we talked about. Currently, my location, I know there's no morning transport, but I am really interested in this 6 hour program.
Thank you.
Say for example, right, today I say like, it's okay that I will arrange one way, like drop off, right? Then coming back you can take the school bus. But later on, based on the intakes, right, you decide whether or not the location has a transport or not. So if that happens, will I be able to dynamically change my decision, or like how do you keep it for now?
Yours is just an expression of interest. It's not a commitment for 2024. Your expression of interest will let her and us decide how to collect the data.
We will do best
Yeah.
to arrange the bus.
Yes.
Those who are is open for the 6 hour program. We do our best to arrange bus, but if fails, we will inform.
Okay, so then I will be in a position to like say withdraw my interest.
Yes. It's just an expression of interest. The expression of interest allows us to do the administrative background work. It's not a commitment. Sign up.
Okay, thanks for that. And another question, it is on the current practice itself. I think I've been asking for this right from nursery. I know you share the curriculum at the beginning of the term, but for the rhymes itself, right, the songs that has been sung in the classes during the term, I would request that to be shared as along with the curriculum, because this helps me to, like when my child sings at home, I can also like, sing a bit along with them, and that would be a better learning for me. Yeah, that's my request, and I've emphasized this in previous meetings also, so that is something which I'm
Yes, I agree. Okay, so the rhymes are currently sent to you only at the end of the term, right? Okay, we'll tell you why. Some parents teach the rhyme first before we teach. Really? Then the child doesn't know what the child say. I already know this song. So boring. I don't want to learn again. My mommy already taught me this song. Because you have your best interest of your child at heart, and you want to spend some quality time, so you go through the rhymes. But through very painful experiences, we have learned that the children learn all these rhymes with the parent, and how the parent teach a rhyme and hold one-to-one, and how the children learn in the social setting, the rhyme is very different. That's why we say, hang on until the 10th week. Mala, we make sure 10th week we send the rhymes.
Let us do our job.
I think there was a bit of a miscommunication.
Can I hear? Oh, sorry, move here. Thank you. Okay. I'm just showing you this a little bit in anticipation because we have something for you to fill up to show your interest. Okay, it's just going to be a form with the QR code. We'll fill it up. You can do it now, you can do it tomorrow, but to fill it up, showing us your interest. If the interest is very significant in a particular area, if it's necessary for Mrs. Kumar to get a new bus, she will. We will. But we want you to have interest. She will be the bus driver. And we will do something. Our point in this town hall is to share with you our vision, our goals for 24 and beyond. And wish that you would come on board. Okay? All of this is for your children, it is also our children. Next question, please. I'm mindful of the time. Madam, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, just a comment. I think as I'm Mithran's mummy, Mithran from Jasmine DN, Mummy and Daddy are here. A comment because as an educator myself, 15 years in secondary school, I'm just very, very happy for the announcements made because some of the areas of focus that you all are talking about are really what we have in conversation. We talk about 13 to 16-year-olds, and it's so good to know that it is being brought to a developmentally appropriate level for them, okay? And hence we're very happy and definitely going to express our interest. So the next question is really more so, what is the hours like? Our assumption is it starts at 8:30 still, and then what time does it end if we go on the premium curriculum?
If you say 6 hours, it has started at 8:30 and ends at 2:30, right? But like I said, next year we have the mixed cohort, so we have some who go to 3-hour programs and some the 6-hour. So there are some children who will go back home actually at 3 o'clock, right? So we have buses that will leave with the premium curriculum children will go at 2:30, and then the other cohort will go at 3 o'clock. So we will do this, but eventually we'll try and keep it. Maybe we can start a bit later in the morning. I'm not sure how it is, but our target is to finish school by 3, so that children actually can go back and rest a little before they start enrichment programs or anything like that. So ACTA has given us the permission to run 6 hours with a bit of buffer here and there for dismissal. Will take a bit of longer, but by 3 we should be out of the school for the children. I just want to address the gentleman's question about the Hindi and this class. There's another option we used to do a long time ago. Half class can be Tamil speaking children in the classroom, and then the other half will be Hindi speaking as well, depending on the numbers. If we find that there are few parents, the location-wise everything fits, but language doesn't fit. So what will happen is that we used to split. That means when it's mother tongue lessons, the Tamil students will be in another class for the Tamil session, and the Hindi teacher will come in to do Hindi lesson. So that also can be arranged, right? But like you said, we will try and want to keep the 24 children in one class throughout the 6 hours, so that they build bonds with the kids and start thinking together with the kids as far as possible.
We are here to serve. The ethos of Ramakrishna Mission and therefore Sarada Kindergarten is to serve. So when we ask for an expression of interest, is to give us data to help us serve you. Any other question? I'm mindful of the time. We're 10 to 4. Questions?
I just have one request. If you know any bus transport services, yes, who can, we want to outsource, we want to get a vendor to, so the vendor can tell, okay, I can go many places to fetch the children. We are looking for someone like that. Right now, the people with us are drivers who have been there for many, many years. So, but they're all private owners. So we are looking for a vendor, a transport company to come in and then provide the services. So we are ready to even go towards that extent. So if you know, please drop me an email.
I have another request. I'm personally a little disappointed with the number of K1 parents that are here today, right? Because unless you hear it from the horse's mouth, you won't understand. I sent you you a circular, I send you the slides, you will not understand. So maybe a long shot is for you to talk to your friends who are also parents of K1 class. Explain to them what you have just heard and what your interest is. And if they have any questions or anything, contact Mrs. Uma. As management, Swamti will decide what is our next step. But this is our concern, sir.
Thank you. I'm immediately father. I have 2 questions actually. And thank you for giving us opportunity to take admission of my school and show this because we know what is included over here. And question is,
We can hear you. Just speak a little bit into the mic. The mic is on.
okay, audible?
Okay.
Yeah. My question is, okay, the pilot program is starting from next year, 2024. If we could provide the location-wise transport, okay, we are providing the transport location for this premium program only for these locations. Then we can find the house, the rent here in the area. Because there are no key points program.
Okay.
We are more focusing, okay, how we can,
I understand.
this is the things.
Yes.
The second question what I have, because they are very clear now, like what and as for the meal, okay? So, for my son, we are struggling to feed him at home, maybe 1 hour or lower is taking. So, he will send me here how he can eat.
How you want him to eat?
Yeah.
How he
Yes,
can.
he's taking normal nowadays 1 hour plus at home. But if we going for the 6-hour program, then we are worried.
We're not giving him 1 hour rest.
Which class is he from?
Okay.
Which class are you from? K1. K1, which class? Jasmine, Daisy, Lavender, okay? Which class? Okay. Alright, Teacher Kala will visit you.
So what we found is that children have difficulty eating at home.
Yes.
Over time with their peers, they eat. And they ask for second helping. Yes, that's my son.
Making sure.
Yes. Cannot go down the throat. Because Amma will Yes. No. You sit, you eat, you don't move.
And over time, they don't eat in classroom. They just only got half an hour with the kids to feed them, right? So what will happen is that, from experience, nursery and K1, Teacher Kala is in charge. The teacher will say, I need to go on to the next class. Class is to continue, but he hasn't eaten. So Teacher Kala, it's okay. Give me the food. Child, come to the office. And she has her ways with children, really. She's very good with them. And she got them in one case. We got to eat. And then the whole office will celebrate when he has finished his meal. We will take care of the meals, don't worry. They won't starve. But they might come and tell you that I never eat anything. You never give me second. Don't listen. If you're not sure, you call us. We will tell you. Alright? Sir, you want to move your house because just hit me again. You want to move your house because because of the
Premium class.
okay, because of this you're moving house.
We want to be here.
Okay. Okay, you have more friends from join Sarada, sir? Okay, alright.
That's good news to have. That's very reassuring that you believe in our 6-hour program, you believe in the pedagogy and curriculum we are proposing.
Yeah, but it's very difficult to get the
Transport, correct. You express your
Yes. So many people say but people say
But I also know that it's very difficult to get a flat. I mean, it's very difficult to get rental. I've done property for my parents here. They call me, tell me, which condo can I take, Mrs. Uma? You tell me that I move. Or which bus goes to which condo, then I'll get the house.
if you keep the only
Yes.
We can continue the service.
Okay, so we can narrow down the locations. Once we have a bit more of information from you and from other parents, what is your interest like, what other things you're looking for, we will start working very fast. We need to work this very fast. By
by mid-April, we need to get some answers. So then we can arrange for the transport, talk to the relevant people, and give you something, confirmed information back.
Last question. Okay, go. So now after the express our interest, right? And then you do your homework and your data collection and everything. Would we be having another talk like this to share with us the curriculum, like, you know, after the confirmed students, like the parents?
Okay, we will have, but it may or may not. Okay, it may not be face to face because we want more parents to join, and a lot of parents asking us for Zoom because it's quite easy. Then mom and dad can both be and in the session at the same time. So here space is a bit of constraint for us. So maybe we will get more information, and we will do something to get other parents on board as well, at least to let them know we are running this program. Are you interested? And once we have got some feedback from them, we will, and we have confirmation of all the data, we will do a Zoom, at least a Zoom.
We will get back to you. It's a question of face-to-face or Zoom. Yes. We will get back to you.
Before we collect the next year's fee in term 4, we will get back to you. So you have option.
Yeah.
I have been told by my boss to tell everybody, we will run the 6-hour program. Whether we have 11 children, 20 children, 40 children, 50 children, we will run the program. It's not saying, we are proposing, do you want to join us? No. We are telling you, we are doing it. Okay? That's why it's important for us to know so that we adjust our 2024 nursery intake. You understand? Right now we're taking 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. Depending on how many classrooms we need, we will end up just giving 2 classes in the morning, 2 classes in the afternoon. We cannot release all that data till you tell us you are interested or not interested. You.